Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Dakota, the place where we unravel the secrets buried deep within corporate filings. And let me tell you, Credit Acceptance Corporation, Cassie has a filing that has got more twists and turns than a daytime soap opera. So CAC, which is Credit Acceptance Corporation, is a company that helps people who might not have perfect credit get car loans. Basically, they're in the business of making car ownership a reality for a lot of folks. And by reporting to credit bureaus, they help these individuals improve their financial lives too. It is a pretty neat business model that has been around since the early 1970s, but like any business dealing with loans, especially for people with less than perfect credit, there are some significant risks involved. Let's dive into their latest annual report to see what story the numbers and the legal disclosures are telling us. First off, Credit Acceptance Corporation focuses on automobile dealers who then sell cars to consumers with credit challenges. This table here gives us a really clear picture of who they're serving. A huge chunk of their assignments, about 80%, are to people with FICO scores below 650 or no FICO score at all. That means they are definitely working with riskier borrowers. Now let's check out their revenue streams for the year ended the 31st of December 2025. Total revenue was around $2.3 billion. This is up from about $2.1 billion in 2024. That sounds good, right? But here is where it gets interesting. The vast majority of that revenue, over 92%, comes from finance charges. This tells us they make most of their money from the interest and fees on those loans. Their operating expenses went up by almost 20% in 2025 compared to 2024. This jump of nearly $100 million was mainly because of higher legal expenses. And folks, legal expenses can be a big red flag. Specifically, their general and administrative costs shot up by a massive 65%. This is largely driven by a $74.2 million contingent loss related to those legal matters we just mentioned. This is a huge number and clearly impacting their bottom line. Now, here is a critical part, the provision for credit losses, which is essentially money set aside for loans that might not get paid back. This provision decreased by about 24% in 2025 compared to 2024. That might sound like good news, saving money on potential losses. But wait a minute. The report mentions a decrease in forecasted net cash flows from their loan portfolio over the past few years in 2025. This decrease was about $169.5 million. While this is better than the $314 million drop in 2024, it still shows that they are anticipating collecting less money than they initially thought. This directly impacts their profitability and their overall financial health. Let's look at the top line again. Total revenue increased by 7.2% in 2025 to $2.3 billion. This growth is primarily driven by higher finance charges because of an increase in the average loan balance and a slightly higher yield on their loans. The average net loans receivable balance, which is the total amount of money they have out on loan, increased to over $7.9 billion in 2025. This means they've got more money on the books, but also more risk. Interestingly, in 2024, they reported a loss of $23.7 million on the sale of one of their office buildings. This was to reduce excess office space, a move that reflects their shift towards a remote first work environment. Now about those legal matters, this is a big one. The company is involved in significant litigation and regulatory investigations. The New York State Attorney General and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau filed a joint complaint in 2023 alleging deceptive practices, fraud, illegality, and securities fraud. This is serious stuff, and it is seeking injunctive relief, restitution damages, civil penalties, and more. They've reached a preliminary stage of settlement, potentially involving a cash payment of $75.5 million. That is a massive sum of money and shows the severity of these legal challenges. This is a major risk factor that investors need to watch very closely. Looking at shareholder returns, they repurchased a significant amount of stock in 2025, about 1.5 million shares costing over $725 million. This can be a sign of confidence from the company, but also uses up cash that could be used elsewhere. Their team size has fluctuated slightly, but remains substantial. In 2025, they had 2,314 team members, a decrease from 2024, but an increase from 2023. Let's glance at their balance sheet. As of the 31st of December 2025, total assets are around $8.6 billion, while total liabilities are just over $7.1 billion. This gives them a net worth on paper of about $1.5 billion. The allowance for credit losses is a substantial amount, over $3.6 billion. This is a critical number showing how much they expect to lose on their loans. The net loans receivable, which is the amount they actually expect to collect, is over $7.9 billion. This is the core of their business and where their risk lies. The auditors Grant Thornton LLP have given them a clean opinion on their financial statements, meaning they believe the numbers are presented fairly according to generally accepted accounting principles. However, the auditors did highlight the finance charge revenue and allowance for credit losses as a critical audit matter. This means that management's estimates in these areas involve complex judgments and are subject to significant estimation uncertainty. This again points back to the inherent difficulty in predicting loan performance, especially with their customer base. So what is the big picture here? Credit Acceptance Corporation is a solid company in a niche market that serves a real need. They've grown their revenue and have a strong loan portfolio. Their aggressive stock buybacks and their significant revenue from finance charges show a focus on profitability. However, the massive legal battles and the ongoing provision for credit losses are significant risks to consider. The fact that a huge portion of their revenue comes from interest and fees on loans to individuals with credit challenges means any economic downturn could hit them hard. The legal costs alone are a huge drain and a reminder of the regulatory scrutiny they face. In conclusion, Credit Acceptance Corporation navigating a challenging but potentially lucrative market. Their strategy of serving underserved consumers is working financially, but carries inherent risks that seem to be amplified by an aggressive legal and regulatory environment. Their ability to manage these risks will be key to their future success. What do you think about Credit Acceptance Corp? Oration strategy and their financial health? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown valuable, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. It truly helps us out. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description below for even more exclusive corporate insights. Thanks for watching, and well, see you in the next decoder.